AP Statistics, welcome to 6.2, where we're going to be transforming and combining random variables. You're going to find that we're really going to start combining a lot of the concepts that we've learned in the first part of the year and applying those concepts to these probability models. So we're going to review linear transformation. We learned earlier in the year that measures of center, like mean and median, are affected differently by addition or multiplication than measures of spread like range, standard deviation, or IQR. So in a wonderful world, we've got this school system. The salaries are between $34,000 and $90,000 for teachers. There's a new negotiation going on to increase salaries. The first possibility is that each teacher just gets $1,000 range. So just a review, what is that going to do to the mean and the median? So hopefully you say it's going to add $1,000 for both the mean and the median. How about the range? And if it helps, one thing you could do is actually add the $1,000 to each of these ends and calculate the range and see if there's a difference. So hopefully you remembered that addition or subtraction does not change the range because the highest and lowest values will increase at the same rate, then the range, the highest minus the lowest, will not change. So how about giving every teacher a 2% raise? So this means that those teachers at the lower end will get a smaller amount added to their income than those making the most amount. So really what we would do is we'd be multiplying by 102%. So if you want to think of it that way, another way to think of it is you calculate the 2% and then you add it to their original value, but it's actually easier to just multiply by 102% and do everything in one step. So then that comes to our first question. How will it change the mean and the median? And these will always be the same since they're both measures of center. Both the mean and the median will increase by 2%. So what is that going to do to the range? That, of course, will also increase by 2%. So the rules here is that measures of center are affected by addition or subtraction. Measures of spread are not affected. However, every measurement is affected by multiplication. If you wanted to make yourself a little cheat sheet, you can do a table like I just made. So center affected by everything, spread only affected by multiplication. So recalling all of that, we're now going to see if those same rules apply to random variables. So we've got this example here. We've got El Dorado Community College considers a student to be full-time if they're taking between 10 and 18 units. X is the number of units, so that's the randomly selected, that's our random variable. The number of units that a full-time student is taking has the following distribution. So you can see the number, most students are taking 12 or 15. Probably makes sense because most classes are about 3 credits or 3 units. So multiples of 3 would be more likely. We're going to start by doing that expected value, calculate and interpret the mean and standard deviation of X. So I've written out my mean or my expected value. So don't forget when we're doing these random variables, the expected value is the same as the mean. It's a very long list this time since we actually had 7 numbers. So I'm betting some of you are wondering, is there a shortcut we could do on our calculator? Since you can see we've got to repeat this process several times And it really becomes tricky when we come to standard deviation. There are some shortcuts you can take on your calculator, and we'll review those in class. Please remind me to do so if I forget. So I've got my expected value is 14.65, and then of course our interpretation. So a student at this college is expected to take 14.65 units on average. Our standard deviation, I calculated that once again on my calculator with some shortcuts, and I ended up with 2.056. I didn't leave myself enough room to interpret it, but I would say that the average difference from the expected value would be 2.056 units. For the next question, we are going to calculate the mean and the standard deviation. If each of these units were $50 per unit, what would an average student expect to pay? So given that, I'm going to change my values in my calculators. I'll give you a hint. I am using the list tool. If you want to play with this on your own, what I'm doing is I'm using my list tools, putting in my different values, doing one variable statistics, but this time I'm putting in my probability as frequency. We've never changed that frequency option, so change your probability list into your frequency, and that's what will give you all of these weighted averages and standard deviations. Given what we did in the warm-up, what would you expect to happen to the mean and the standard deviation? How would it change by multiplying our hours by the $50? So hopefully you predicted that we would multiply both the expected value and the standard deviation by the $50. Now, notice here I've changed my variable to t because it said to call my random variable t this time. So it's e of t and standard deviation of t. So expected value and standard deviation. So our simple answer there is both were multiplied by 50. We're going to do the same thing in the next one. This time we're going to, let's see, we've got a cost. Oh, we've got some extra student fees now of $100. So we're going to do either $100 times the T, which was our tuition cost, or you could do $100 times 50 times the number of units. What do you think will happen when we add $100 to our mean and standard deviation comparing random variable C to random variable T? Well, of course, it turns out that the expected value of T increases by $100 and the standard deviation of T does not change at all.